A goal sometimes seems so far off, and our progress often appears to be so painfully slow that we have a tendency to lose heart. A lifetime is comprised of days strung together into weeks, months, and years. Let's reduce it to the lowest common denominator, a single day, and then still further to each task of that day. A successful life is nothing more than a lot of successful days put together. Now, think of a single day as a building block with which you're building the tower of your life. If each stone is successfully placed, the tower will be a success. If, on the other hand, they're put down in a hit or miss fashion, the whole tower is in danger. Each day consists of a series of tasks of all kinds, and the success of the day depends upon the successful completion of most of these tasks. If everything we do during the day is a success, that is done in the best fashion of which we're capable, we can fall asleep that night in the comfortable knowledge that we've done our very best. You don't need to overwork or to rush blindly into your work trying to do the greatest possible number of things in the shortest possible time. Don't try to do tomorrow's or next week's work today. It's not so much the number of things you do, but the quality, the efficiency of each separate action that counts, the quantity of what you do to get the habit of success. And that's why successful people go from one success to another, because it's a habit with them. To get the habit of success, you need only to succeed in the small tasks of each day. This makes a successful day. Enough of these and you have a successful week, month, year, and lifetime. Almost before you realize it, you'll have achieved your goal. When you're looking back, you'll realize that your success was not attributable to any one day, week, or month, but rather it was the consistent, unrelenting, successful succession of single days that turned the trick. In order to advance to the place you've chosen, two things are necessary. One, that you keep your eye on your goal, and two, that you continue to grow from the standpoint of competence and effectiveness. Concentrate on each task of the day from morning to night and do each as successfully as you can. Know full well that if each of your tasks is performed successfully, or at least the greater majority of them, your life has to be successful. The men and women who are certain to advance are the ones who become too big for their jobs and who have a clear concept of what they want to be. Are you too big for your present job? If it's obvious to you that you are, it's obvious to others. You know, people are not given promotions as a rule. They promote themselves by becoming too big for their jobs and by making up their minds exactly what bigger and better job or income they're shooting for. But how do we separate the important tasks from the unimportant? The story goes that the president of a big steel company had granted an interview to an efficiency expert named Ivy Lee. He was telling his prospective client how he can help him do a better job of managing the company when the president broke in to say something to the effect that he wasn't at present managing as well as he knew how. He went on to tell Ivy that what was needed wasn't more annoying, but a lot more doing. He said, "We know what we should be doing. Now, if you can show us a better way of getting it done, I'll listen to you and pay you anything within reason." Well, he then said that he could give him something in 20 minutes that would increase his efficiency by at least 50%. He then handed the executive a blank sheet of paper and said, "Write down on this paper the 6 most important things you have to do tomorrow." Well, the executive thought about it and did as requested. It took him about 3 or 4 minutes. Then Lee said, "Now number those items in the order of their importance to you and the company." Well, that took another 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. And then Lee said, "Now put the paper in your pocket. And the first thing tomorrow morning, take it out and look at item number 1. Go look at the others, just number 1, and start working on it. And if you can stay with it until it's completed, then take item number 2 the same way. Then number 3 and so on. For you have to quit for the day. Don't worry if you've only finished 1 or 2. The entire interview hadn't taken more than a half hour. In a few weeks, the story has it that the company president sent Ivy Lee a check for $25,000 with a letter saying the lesson was the most profitable from the money standpoint he'd ever learned in his life. And it was later said that in 5 years, this was the plan that was largely responsible for turning what was that little... known steel company into one of the biggest independent steel producers in the world. For the next 7 days, try the $25,000 idea in your life. Tonight, write on a slip of paper the 6 most important things you have to do. Then number them in the order of their importance. And tomorrow morning, go to work on number 1. Stay with it till it's successfully completed, then move on to number 2, and so on. When you finish with all 6, get another piece of paper and repeat the process. This simple but tremendously effective method will take all the confusion out of your life. You'll never find yourself running around in circles, wondering what to do next. One day at a time, handled successfully. Will carry you over every hurdle. You can relax in the happy knowledge that successful tasks make successful days, which in turn build a successful life. Make certain that the tasks you take the time to do efficiently are important tasks, tasks which move you ahead steadily toward your goal. It was the great Harvard teacher and psychologist William James who said, in effect, let not students worry about the success of their efforts. If they will do each day as best they can, the work which is before them, they will wake up one day to find themselves among the competent people of their generation: student, junior executive, homemaker, senior executive, homemaker, senior executive, or professional. This plan works for everybody. In this way, we'll move steadily ahead, growing more competent, more confident with the passing of every day. Others may seem to suddenly shoot up faster and possibly fall much farther in operating in sprints and fits. But it's to the study that the rewards are eventually paid. There's nothing mysterious or capricious about achieving outstanding success. It's completely within our individual control and is absolutely predictable. As long as you've got that goal to work toward, there's no valid reason on earth why you should not become really successful in your field, your home life, and your community. There are no exceptions to this. Nothing happens by accident. For every result, there's a cause, good effect, bad cause, bad effect. It's as reliable as the rising of the sun. This business of living one day at a time, the best we can, has an almost unbelievable cumulative effect for good, for success, and the things we want